right, hello wine drinking people. Today is Thursday, September 2nd, and we're making our way through a week here with no events on the calendar. So not a lot of drinking going on here at the store. Well, not after hours, just a little bit at home. And we got a few events next week, and we just added one to the calendar, a very special event. We've got someone from Vega Sicilia who will be in town next Thursday night here at the Wine Watch. So this is what I've got to sell you today, folks. We've got 1 week to do it, and we'll be serving the greatest, well, the first cult wine of Spain. The greatest wine of Spain, I guess that's, depends on what part of Spain you're talking about today, because there are a lot of great wines made in Spain. But the very first wine to be highly sought after is from Ribera del Duero, Bodegas Vega Sicilia, and still one of the most sought after wines coming out of Spain today. This wine is very unique. The history goes back all the way to the 19th century, 1848, and the vineyards were planted just a few years later with some vines that were brought from Bordeaux, Merlot, Malbec, Cabernet, and Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir from Bordeaux? I don't know. That's what the story says on their website. So, but today they are known for their Bordeaux varietals, the Unico being their top wine. And how can we do a tasting without serving Unico? Well, you know what? We're serving the 1996 Unico. We're going to be serving Valbuena. We'll be serving Pintia, the new wine from Toro, which is the hot area, which is just to the south and to the west of Ribera del Duero, which is just south of Rioja. This is the most famous wine district in all of Spain, but Vega Sicilia comes from Ribera del Duero, which today pretty famous. We're doing a Spanish treasures tasting, a vintage Spanish treasures tasting coming up on the 24th of September, which I'm also going to be getting on the calendar very shortly, hopefully today, where we're going to be showing the 1970 Vega Sicilia Unico and a bunch of other great Riojas from Marqués de Murrieta, Iguay. And check that out. If you're into Spanish wine, a once-in-a-lifetime type event with vintages going back into the 40s. All right, well, you're wondering why are we staring at a bottle of Oremus Tokai, buddy? You're talking about Vega Sicilia. What the family that bought Vega Sicilia in 1982, the Alvarez family, bought this property in the 90s in Hungary, and producing some of the most fantastic dessert wines on the face of the earth. Kind of an interesting story in Hungary. One of the generals, I guess, had to go out to battle, so he had to leave his vineyard out there for an extra 2 months, and thus the grapes shriveled up, and this is how this style of wine started being made in Hungary. And Oremus, as I mentioned before, is owned by the Alvarez family, and this type of wine is made the same way that they make sauternes. The grapes actually get botryticized, they rot, and they shrivel up. But some unique conditions in Hungary for this varietal, the ferment varietal, which is what Oremus is made out of, and all the other great sweet wines of Hungary. Tokai kind of is a term that's a little bit, I don't want to say misused, but it's been used for different things, so a little bit misunderstood. There is a grape called Tokai in northern Italy. There's a grape, there's actually a wine in Alsace, Tokai Pinot Gris, what used to be, as of I think last year. Neither Alsace nor Italy can use the term Tokai. So the grape in Italy is just called Friulano. It was Tokai Friulano. And Pinot Gris is just called Pinot Gris in Alsace today. And Tokai is the dessert wine you find in Italy. We've got a 3-course meal that's going to be served with this. Some lamb, of course, goes very nice with Ribera del Duero. Some of the greatest lamb that I've ever had was on one of my trips to Ribera del Duero. And check out everything else, all the new releases from Bodegas Vega Sicilia on this offering. We've got 3 different vintages of Unico, and we've got a bottle of Reserve Especial, their top wine. All right, I'm your host, folks, Andrew Lampasone, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.